Hi guys, Seeker of Truth here. So Simon Parks made one of his update videos recently, and someone sent me this, and I want to talk about this. Someone had asked me to look into the video and Simon Parks's eyes in particular. Now, as you may know from some of my previous videos, we've looked into the three-part series, Simon Parks and the Dark Side, and also my interviews with Marie Chiali, where we look into the fact that Simon claims that his father, or at least adopted father, was a Draco Reptilian, and also that many people have come forward to say that they were visited by Simon and his reptilian dad, to which he apologized on his website. So a lot around that, but I mean, I'm sure you've seen these videos on the internet of different people and their eyes doing some funny things. And all throughout this video, I looked into it, and yes, Simon's eyes do some weird things, and we'll look through that. Throughout the video, I will show moments where I zoom in on his eyes, and they do some strange things. Test this video out for yourselves. See if my eyes do this sort of thing. I'm pretty confident that they won't. But with him, they do throughout his video. I mean, it's a 2 hour long video, and they do it throughout. Also, on the points where I have zoomed in, they're not the only points where this happens, and I'm sure if you want to watch it yourself and do your own investigation, zooming in, great. But I just did what I could while I was going through it, because the real reason I wanted to look into this, and I went through the first sort of 7 minutes or so, was around what he uncharacteristically did at the beginning of this update. And that was to address the fact that his organization, Connecting Consciousness, is hemorrhaging members and hemorrhaging leadership at the moment. And has been doing for months and months now. Whether or not they've resigned, he claims that mass resignations, or whether they've been fired, which there are a lot of members, especially in leadership, that have been fired over the last 6 months or so. And this, there will be a lot more to those in the Connecting Consciousness organization that are watching me now, which I know is not allowed, has been banned. Seems like cult-like behavior, what you can and cannot watch, what you can or cannot talk about. But for those of you that are interested, there will be more. There will be more, a lot more coming out very soon, where you can see for yourselves, and hopefully that this will open up your minds and open up your hearts over this situation. Anyway, back to it. So Simon then talks about in this video the reason, and it's laughable, what he says. He loves to cover up these narratives. He loves to get ahead of the game and tell you all and feed you all this information that will set your mind to, oh, that's why all these people are leaving. Oh, okay, Simon. No. And we'll go through that, and you'll see how laughable it is. Let's investigate this. Okay, so before we get into all of this, there's something that I want to have a quick look at on his website. So this is Simon Parks's website. Okay. 2 days ago, he talks about Connecting Consciousness meetup in Las Vegas, Nevada, October the 1st. And there you go. There's the video we're going to be looking into today, which was a few days ago. But this post, I am mystified. Let's just have a quick look at it. Won't be long. Just want to have a look at this. Spot the woman who appears twice. The MSM have always lied. Study this picture. Spot the woman who appears twice. So this is an update from Simon Parks on his website. So let's look at this picture, and I have done, and I've studied it. I studied it with much interest. Where is the woman that appears twice? And you can see I've put a bigger picture up on your screen here. Study this picture. I'll give you, 10 seconds. Have a look for two women that look the same. And I urge you to go and look on your website, on his website, and have a look for yourselves. There is no woman that appears twice, except for these two ladies at the front. And look how they look very similar in the face. Oh, there's nothing wrong there, right? Can't see anything that looks untoward with their smiling faces that look exactly the same. I don't understand if this is a joke or if he's just lazy with reporting on it, or whether he's got it off some random Telegram channel and he thought, "Oh, this is good. This is good intel. I'll put this out." I don't understand this because I know he's more intelligent. Well, I thought he was more intelligent than this. He is more intelligent than this. I just don't understand it because there is no two women that look the same apart from those two at the front, and they are clearly wearing cardboard masks. So what is he trying to say by the MSM have always lied? Study this picture, spot the woman that appears twice. Is he trying to say that this image has been doctored and they put the same woman on there twice? Like surely anyone out there can see that this is two women wearing, cardboard masks. If you look close enough to see, these two women are wearing cardboard masks of some ferry company executive or other. It doesn't matter, regardless. Um, Take it for what he says. Spot the woman who appears twice. The MSM have always lied. Study this picture. Spot the woman who appears twice. There is no woman that appears twice. There's two women of differing heights wearing cardboard masks. Simon, are you that effing stupid to believe that this is two? What are they clones? Is this serious? Is this a hoax? Or I mean, what is? I just did not see Simon putting out this with all sincerity that this would be true, or this would be something mystical to look into. Does he believe that it is two different women that look the same? And if so, how ridiculous is that? I mean, and that makes him, if he's serious about that image, it's ridiculous. It is utterly, utterly ridiculous. And he's posted that on his website. But guys, if I am wrong and there is like two women in that scene, and I've totally misinterpreted the whole situation, I'm missing some vital thing. Go and look at it yourselves. I'll leave a link to it in the description. If I'm missing something important, and please inform me. It's not blowing my mind. It is annoying me. I want to know what he means by it, but that's only because I refuse to believe he is that stupid. And if he is that stupid, that is laughable in itself. Let's move on. Let's get into this video. Now, quickly, I just want to say with this video, yes, I have pointed out the moments where his eyes do some weird things on the camera, but listen to what he's saying. Try not to concentrate too much on the eye. Try not to look into the eyes or look around the eyes. Blah, blah, blah. I'm joking.
Look into my eyes. Look into my eyes. The eyes, not around the eyes. Don't look around the eyes. Look into my eyes. You're under. If you see me in the street, you will give me a £10 note. A £10 note. In fact, hang on, make that 20. Actually, let's round it up. Let's call it 50. 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room.
Try not to concentrate too much on that. I do point out moments where it happens. It is a bit weird and freaky. But let's look at what he's saying and let's talk about that.
Well, it's the 25th of September. What I propose to do is to try and keep my answers quite short, so that we can try and get through as many as possible. I want to do some intel, and then I'll So we'll start off. Always bear in mind that a lot of the questions that come in from the coordinators are intel based. So, they are a mixture of spiritual and intel questions. And as always, I don't really have sight of the questions that come in. Occasionally, Becky will say to me, look, I've got 5 questions on the same one. Do you want me just to choose one of these or try and amalgamate them? But generally speaking, I don't go through each question. All right, so let's start with some overall stuff first of all. CC, when I set this organization up, and I've been going since 2010, and it was 2015 that we first learned fully about the quantum financial system, about the white hat plans. And that was when we were asked to become involved and to play a part in what was to develop. And that's when Becky, started to look at the way we would manage the United States, because we knew that's where the problems were going to come from. So when CC was set up, it was set up not as an intel organization, not as a patriot only organization. It was set up as a support organization for people across the world who knew the truth, but just couldn't find anyone else who was bothered to find the truth. And so we were networking people who found they could find people who could not laugh at them, would share their information, maybe say, yeah, I've had that happen to me, or yeah, have you seen this link? And so that's what we are. We're a spiritual organization. And whether we're doing medbeds or projects or intel, that is an aspect of CC spirituality. It's not a all or nothing. And, I am aware that in some places, CC members are resigning. And the reasons they're giving are the white hats aren't doing anything. And I know that because coordinators have told me when they've questioned people why they're leaving, the reason they've given is, well, because the white hats aren't doing anything, nothing's happening.
That is not the reason why they're leaving, though, are they, Simon? Is that exactly what your coordinators have told you? Have they told you that because they want to spare you the real answer to what they're leaving? There's many reasons why your members and leadership are leaving. And, in a future video, I will go over some of that with some of your, previous leadership that have left and members that have left. However, why are they leaving it? And Simon spins this narrative now. It's because the white hats are not doing anything, and that's very selfish. No, that is not why they're leaving. They're leaving because what you're saying the white hats are doing is not coming true, because it is BS. It's not to do with the white hats aren't doing anything, so I give up. It's because you're telling them that they're doing this, they're doing that. The 24th of September, you take out some money, the Pentagon told me this, and it's all BS intel. And people are fed up and they're tired of it. They're tired of the dates. They're tired of the lies. They're tired of the whole charade of you working for the white hats in America. They are tired. They've woken up to the fact that actually, and the thing is most people out there in your organization, they want to be there because they want to be around like-minded people still. And a lot of them are either on the fence or have given up with you and your BS intel. And some people have come to the conclusion that they're better off starting their own communities and not being a part of something where the head of that organization is misleading people with these lies and the whole pretend, this whole game, whatever it is that you're doing, this whole charlatan thing. They are fed up with you telling them the white hats are doing such and such. And you mentioned the med beds, and you're in charge of the rollout of the med beds, this, that, and nothing that you're saying is going to be happening or is happening, and when it's happening, coming true, because it is BS. However, go ahead, spin your narrative with your your words here. You're very clever and convincing with whatever reasons you give, and you're always trying to spin the narrative as ahead of the game as possible to try and go to get people, to hypnotize people further. Not that you already haven't, into going, oh, that's why. Oh, they gave up on the white hats. How selfish.
And that's actually a very selfish reason, because what about your commitment to patriotism? Doesn't matter which country you're in. What about your commitment to all the other members of CC who are hanging on in there? Where's the concept gone of coordinating ideas and views and sharing, and then as a member taking a part in that? How very selfish to say, well, the white hats haven't done anything, so I'm leaving, as if it's my fault. I will just make it clear that anyone who leaves for those reasons, you're not coming back. The people who join and then doesn't go the way they want it to go, then they leave. And then in a very short period of time now, when the white hats do what everybody wants, if these people think they're just going to come back in, and what I think the Americans call sunshine patriots, that's not going to happen.
You're not coming back, you sunshine patriots. You've left and you didn't wait long enough. As Simon had said to Steve Wand, you left just before we were going to pay you. What is it, in a couple of weeks' time? Has anyone in the UK been paid yet? Any coordinators? Let me know. Hit me up. Email me if you have. I very much doubt any of you have been paid. And if you have, it's probably one or two special and very loyal people to Simon, but I'm pretty sure probably no one has been paid. That is BS. All the coordinators across the UK, none of you have been paid. It is BS. But all these people that have left, well, you threw in the towel too soon. When the white hats do what they said they were going to do in a very short space of time. How short is that, Simon? 1, 2 years? Next week or whenever. Pin the tail on the donkey, blindfolded. Whenever something's going to happen at one point, and then when it happens, everyone will go, "Yay! Simon was right." So people have left, and you're saying, "Shame on you, you selfish people!" And you're not allowed back. You're not coming back when things do happen. And I know what's going to happen. Hopefully something happens soon. I know what's going to happen. When it happens, you're not allowed back. So to any of you people thinking of leaving and following these people that have come to their senses, just know that you won't be allowed back. And when everything happens and kicks off soon, I swear, soon, September the 24th, that's gone, sometime in November, when that happens, you'll be sorry.
The whole point about this is we're being tested. If you're an American patriot or a worldwide patriot, then you're a patriot Monday to Sunday. You're not just Monday to Friday, and then on the next day you decide you want to walk off and do something else. And I do want to make this point, and it's not aimed at a blanket. It's just aimed at a concept and a spirituality. And I'm going to tell you this. We have CC members in Africa who don't have enough money to buy the data to download so they can take part in a CC Zoom call. So those people in the first world who are moaning and groaning, who've got enough food, their electricity's working, they can have the internet. I would ask you to step back and just appreciate that there are a lot of people, an awful lot of people, who don't have access to the things that we in the first world have.
And how very dare you? There are people in Africa. There are starving children in Africa. There are people in Africa that do not have access to the basic necessities of life. They do not have access to food or clean water, or even internet access to our weekly Zoom meetings. They do not have these things. And how dare you for being so selfish in the first world countries, thinking for yourself, being able to share information and talk about things freely, and wanting to leave the organization? You're not welcome back. I'll tell you now, you're not welcome back. When we're proven right in November, December, January, February, March, April 2023, 4, 5, 6, or 7, you are not allowed back. And don't forget the starving people in Africa.
And CC is not just about America. It's not just about Britain. No, I want to talk about Britain as well in a minute, but it's about the whole world. Now, what is the point of a number of countries breaking free from the cabal if all the other countries are stuck in there? How do you think we can trade? How do you think we can communicate? It's all or nothing. And so it's very easy for people who perhaps have had an easier life than those in Asia or Africa or perhaps in downtown projects in America to, get on their high horse, fold their hands up and say, oh, the white hats aren't doing enough. Nothing's happening. And I'm taking myself off. In that what you're doing is you're absenting yourself from the greater part of humanity. And, we are a spiritual organization who believes in intel, and we don't just operate from one moment to the next. We've got to keep going all the time because that's our calling. That's where we're drawn to, and that's why there are so many Christian or spiritual people or Jewish or Muslim people who believe in God who've joined our organization because they have the wider understanding. They're not just narrowly focused on one or two things. And I don't have a problem if a person is very hooked up on med beds or very hooked up on this or that, as long as we understand that is just an aspect of being a patriot.
And I don't care if you're going to get hung up on the whole medbed thing. That was just a little aspect of our community, of my grift. That was just an aspect. I mean, I know that some of you are dying of cancer and, or other, anything else, and some of you are literally on deathbed and are saying, well, I thought this was coming soon. You said it was coming soon. And everything you said, we hung on to. And in fact, some of us didn't see doctors. And it is literally a matter of life or death for lots of people. But that was only a small aspect, and don't get too hung up on that. The nerve, and I nearly swore there, and I do not do that. Rarely do that. The nerve, just a small aspect of our community. So if you're going to get hung up on the whole, med bed and your health and your life or your thing, yeah, I got so angry I've lost where I'm going there.
And if you're spiritual, you're a patriot. You should be. And if you're a patriot, you should be spiritual because you understand what's going on.
But just you remember these buzzwords. You need to be a patriot. And to be a patriot, you need to be spiritual. And to be spiritual, you need to be a patriot. And to be both a patriot and spiritual, you need to believe in Simon Parkes and what he is saying. And if you don't believe in Simon Parkes and what he is saying, then are you a patriot? And are you even spiritual? That is the question, my friends.
And different people have different understandings. And although perhaps lots of people in the patriot world don't talk about it, I will. And that is that some patriots believe that Joe Biden is exactly what he is. Other patriots believe that he's an actor. Other patriots believe that he's the twin of Biden. But the reality is, it doesn't matter what we believe, as long as we want the same destination.
But the reality is, It doesn't matter what you believe, or even if you wise up to Simon and the BS he's spewing. It doesn't matter what you believe, as long as we want the same destination. No, no. Look, you can't mislead people all this time. Take their money, take their ideas for humanitarian projects, take their trust to mislead them for years. You can't do all that and say, but we wanted the same end goal, so my grift was okay, right? And you'll forgive me? No, Simon. You are. This is what's happening now. There is these seeds being sowed for his repentance, apology, backtracking, whatever, however you may look at it. He needs to get out of the position that he's put himself in by lying in this fantasy world to what he claims is 105,000, I think, members to his connecting consciousness organization, a structured organization. When you're a full-grown adult with 105 odd thousand people following you to your every word, and you're doing bi-weekly podcasts continuing these lies, I could go on and on and on. No, if you want the same destination, if you are on board with that, Simon, it's not an excuse. It is not an excuse for misleading people, and you will be held to account for your lies. It will come. There will come a day where not necessarily judgment by God, but judgment by man and woman alike will say this guy, did bad in this world. He didn't do good. He wasn't raising our consciousness. He wasn't alerting us to all this stuff. There was other sources out there that could have alerted us to certain things. This man was taking advantage of a lot of people. The day will come. So, guys, look, yeah, you saw the video. You saw the me zooming in on his eyes. Very weird. Very, very weird. And I've seen other videos of this as well. I don't know what to think about that. You guys let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. What we do know is that that Simon himself has claimed his daddy is a Draco Reptilian. If you've not seen my 3-part series on Simon Parkes Exposed, The Dark Side, where we look into that Draco Reptilian connection, Simon's own comments on all of that, and also the comments of others that claim to have been visited by Simon astrally with his Draco father in some circumstances, and everything, the whole connection behind Simon and the Draco. Then look into that 3-part series. I will leave a link in the description. It's pretty fascinating, if anything, to look into. I hope you've liked this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please promote the work that I'm doing if you appreciate it. If you want to go one step further, there is a link in the description below where you can support my work even more, and for that I appreciate. Guys, until next time, follow Seeker of Truth. Good night.